by those brave souls running 26 miles in the searing heat at the weekend to raise millions for countless charities. However, even that towering achievement is put in the shade, if you'll forgive the pun, by what my next guests are involved in. They are undertaking 8 super tough military challenges and playing 28 games of hockey all around the country, so it involves lots of travelling time as well, and all within 8 consecutive days. They're either heroes or mad or possibly both, I don't know, but they are Laura Wilkinson, Aurora Mears and Katie Pake, and they're all with me now. Hello all.
Hello.
And good for you, because you're all local as well. You're all Berkshire girls.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. Other than that, what are you? Are you all members of the same hockey team for a start?
No, I'm part of Reading Hockey Club.
Okay, so you play for Reading, and Katie?
Yeah, and Laura and I play for Sonning.
You both play for Sonning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So did all three of you know each other before this crazy idea came up?
No. Well, we have known each other before this idea, but Hockey for Heroes, when we attended the selection day, is where I actually met Aurora.
Right.
Okay. And then she came to work with me at the Abbey, which was fantastic.
Okay.
And then I joined Sonning.
Right. So you have to audition to, as it were, to take part in this, right?
There's a selection. You have to have a good why, so good reason. So obviously, kind of the aim of the charity is to support those kind of in the military or ex-military.
But you mean you have to have a specific why within that?
A strong passion for why you want to.
What was your why then first?
Lots of different reasons, really. So my uncle's been always been in the military, and he's kind of more of a father figure actually to me. Very proud of him, and I kind of just wanted to show him my support in some way.
Okay.
And then since knowing some of the boys and girls in the team themselves, it kind of. Some of them have seen firsthand the importance of having charities like Help for Heroes, and that's kind of a real drive for all of us, I think, actually.
Okay. Katie, what was your compelling argument?
So quite similar to Laura, really, kind of family ties to the military. So my grandmother, my grandfather and my dad have all been involved in the military.
What did your grandmother do in the military?
She was in the Wrens.
Oh, was she?
Yeah,
okay.
So it's really interesting. So, yeah.
And Aurora, how did you sell yourself to get a place?
Oh, well, mine's also quite similar to both of them. Mine was from my uncle, who passed away a few years ago, but I was pretty close with him, and he was also in the military in World War II as a medic. So
as a medic, right?
Yes.
Very, very good. Okay. And how many of you will there be in all then? In this team?
We've got a playing squad of 24 and a support crew of 8.
Okay, so, I mean, it's daunting enough anyway, but that nobody then will have to play every single one of these hockey matches. Do you think anybody might?
Aurora.
I might be.
She's our only goalkeeper.
Oh dear.
So,
well, that wasn't a very good team selection, if I may say so, to pick out of so many people. One goalkeeper, was it?
We do have more, but they couldn't all come on the door.
Right, so you really think you might do that, do you?
Oh, yes, I'm up for it.
You're not worried at all about that?
No.
Okay.
I think I'd be worried for them in front of me listening to me talking all the way through 3 games in a row. I think that'd probably drive them crazy.
Well, hang on, you talk a lot when you're keeping goal, do you? What sort of things do you say when you're keeping?
I pretty much tell them where to go. So
I
if
see.
they get in my way, there's certainly
a bit of abuse occasionally.
Okay. I thought the captain was the person who had to do it. Or maybe you are the captain, don't they?
No. I'm not the captain.
Captain will do that too,
as well. She's also my defender, so.
Right. Well, it'll be interesting if you're giving one set of advice and she's giving a different set of. Does that happen?
Actually, luckily we work really well together. So she'll give the advice to our midfielders, and I'll give advice to my defenders. Right. Now, where are you? You don't kick off in your sport, do you? But where are you starting, Katie? Then for this incredible 8 days.
Up in Glasgow.
In Glasgow, why there to start?
Yes, I'm not sure actually, Laura. Why did we select Glasgow?
Glasgow's we haven't really kind of explored that Scotland really, so we want to kind of get as many of the hockey clubs involved and kind of spread the word for Hockey for Heroes, and we thought we'd start in the Commonwealth Stadium.
Right.
Make a big impact.
And if I've done my maths correctly, you're going to have to average between 3 and 4 matches a day, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which is extraordinary, really. Will those always be at the same venue? Will you stay at that venue in Glasgow, and will the teams come to you?
Yeah, so for that day, we play all those games in that venue.
Right, okay. And what sort of clubs are you taking on? I mean, how widely do they range in ability, for example?
Quite a big range, so...
All women, presumably?
All women. Most of the clubs, actually, are National League clubs, so quite...
Are you? Is Sonning?
No.
Oh, is Reading?
Reading is.
sailing is not.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, a complete mix. So we generally have one harder game each day, and we also play some of the military teams as well.
Right, okay. And the military challenges then, Katie, tell us about a couple of those.
So I think they vary. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Lara, but we've got a 10-mile tab.
What's a tab?
So it's a kind of fast march combination with running, a fast march really.
With 16 kilograms on our back.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah,
right.
That's the difficult part.
You nearly missed out the worst bit there.
Yeah, I know. How could I forget that? Yeah. I think also we're carrying a stretcher potentially in that as well.
Yeah, now I saw that, and please tell me it's only a stretcher, not with like a 20-stone man on it or something.
We are actually, I think the plan, so the boys last year did Op Stretcher, which was a 200-mile stretcher carry, and they carried
all in one, not all in one
over 10 days and 30 games of hockey, and they raised £68,000 for Health Heroes, which was amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, Dom is injured. He's paralysed from the neck down, and so we're hoping
he's going to be on the stretcher.
We're hoping to get him involved and carry him on the stretcher for a couple of our challenges.
Well, I was joking about this with Sarah Walker, who precedes me on air this morning. He was saying, we wouldn't mind being the person on the stretcher. Probably quite uncomfortable though to be jiggled up and down for that amount of time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a long time. 10 miles.
It is a long
time.
Yeah,
so we do our best.
Even that's not not a walk in the park, as it were.
No.
Right, okay. Or any other completely different types of challenge apart from that, or is it repeating those?
So we've got obstacle course.
An obstacle course? Sounds like school sports day a bit, doesn't it? Probably a little more challenging than that, though.
And we've also got the military fitness test, also one of them, which is a 1.5 mile, 20 push-ups in 2 minutes. So military push-ups, and then also 50 sit-ups in 2 minutes.
50 sit-ups in 2 minutes. I was just thinking to my time at the gym how hard that would be.
So that's the least we have to do in that time.
What is a military? Was it the press-ups? Did you say that?
Yes.
Yeah. Is a military press-up different from a normal press-up?
Yeah. So your elbows have to be tucked in, so it's more like use your triceps. Okay. Yes,
right,
and then push yourself up from that.
I'm always being told off for my elbows coming out. It's the most natural thing in the world, isn't it?
So you'll be great at them.
For my age, I wouldn't be too bad at them. Put it that way. We'll talk perhaps a bit about how you are preparing, apart from keeping your elbows in a moment or two. We'll pause for a song first of all. Here come the Carpenters on BBC Radio Berkshire. Three of the members of the Hooray... Sorry, hockey, I couldn't read it. I was trying to read it on a woman's chest. And there's a little crease in it. Rather than look at me notes, I just looked at the chest across. She's kindly exposing only the name. Now, this is going from bad to worse here. Three members of the Hockey for Heroes team who are travelling the country, playing 28 games of hockey and undertaking 8 tough military challenges, all within 8 days. So, how then, Lara? Stop laughing.
Sorry.
Let's hold this together now. How do you train for such a? Even if you're fit and you play hockey, and you work at school and teach some sport and all that, it can't be enough. So what are you doing?
No, training's been really hard actually, and we've been really lucky here. There's quite a lot of us from the Reading area, so we can all train together, which helps with motivation. Aurora and I ran a half marathon yesterday in Southampton.
My word!
So part of our training, we tend to go out once a week for a bit of a tab, and then it's kind of just time in the gym really, getting used to carrying some weight, putting some hours, and we have on Saturday we're going to Fleet, and we've got 3 hockey games then, so we're trying to get used to getting miles in the legs basically.
Right. Is there a danger though, Katie, of doing too much beforehand? Because with marathons, I was amazed, I remember the first time I learnt that you never run a full marathon until the day itself. This seemed weird to me. Like, imagine if you were a high jumper who only jumped 3/4 of the height until you're in the Olympics, or you're an actor who only rehearsed the first half and then the first half of the second half of a play. These things would never happen, and yet in a marathon, of course, that is what happens. So you've got to keep something back, presumably.
Yeah, so it's really important to vary your training. So because it's so diverse, and we've got so many different things that we're doing, and obviously hockey's various different sort of muscle groups and things that you need to train. It's important to kind of alternate what you're doing, and it's really important to incorporate rest days. It's difficult to do sometimes, incorporating rest days.
So you'll never do 8 tough days in a row before you do 8 tough days.
I don't think we're ever going to do it. And I think, well, a couple of weeks ago we did 2 or 3 games in a day, and we did like a 90-minute PT session, and genuinely I couldn't walk for about 4 days afterwards. So
Gosh.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a shock to the system.
I suppose you could coast in some of these matches a little bit. Do you will that be a temptation, Aurora, or will the competitive spirit override everything, you think?
I'm not sure. I don't think I could prepare as much as those girls are actually running around. I think it's very different for me as a goalkeeper.
As the goalkeeper, yes, of course.
Yeah, so I think mentally for me it's about preparation, but it's my training's the same as them, as I've been doing the challenges, but also different elements of my training would be more explosive stuff, so short bursts of continuous stuff and things like that. So, but if I get a chance to have a run around, I will also join the girls on the pitch. So I will always be going.
Yes.
24/7.
Very good. What do you all do for a living, by the way? Because you'll have had to have negotiated time off apart from anything else from your employers, I'm thinking. So, Laura, what do you do?
So I work at the Abbey. I'm director of sport there, and school,
you're a teacher.
Yeah.
Right.
And school have been so supportive. So it's been really good. They're all behind us.
What are the girls saying?
Girls are brilliant. Aurora and I did an assembly not that long ago, and I think.
So you're both teachers there?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
And they're all behind us. They've picked up some of our bags and seen how heavy the weight is, and I think they see us go out running quite a lot. But the support from the school community has been brilliant.
Right. And Katie, what about you?
I work in clinical drug trials.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So I've negotiated the week off, fortunately.
Yes.
And again, rallying the support from everybody. People are keen to, because we're going down the country, and kind of what I work in is quite home based. There's people all over the country. They're looking to come out and kind of support along the way. So that'll be really nice.
Well, that kind of begs lots of questions, doesn't it, really? So you need support along the way. You've got a team that travels with you. What do you call those backup teams?
Our support group.
Support group with you as well. But you're going to need accommodation, for example, and you don't want to presumably spend money that would otherwise be going to the cause. So how do you get on with things like that? What sort of places will you be staying in?
So we've all put in a personal contribution to help cover the cost of the accommodation. Yeah. So we are actually staying in travel lodges all the way down.
Right,
so because we've got travelling the length of the country, we will have fairly limited sleep time. So it's important we are comfortable.
Right.
So we've all put in money ourselves.
Okay. Well, thank goodness you are going for like a proper hotel room. Because boy, oh boy, are you going to appreciate a hot bath and a comfortable bed, aren't you? That's going to make a huge difference. Yeah. And you say that sleep time will be limited. So what would be a typical itinerary for one of these 8 days?
So there's a couple of days where we have to kind of be up at 6 a.m, but I think more typically kind of 8 o'clock to do our challenges, and then we won't leave the clubs till about 9-10 o'clock at night, and then it's about an hour, 2 hours drive to the next hotel, basically.
And crash straight into bed.
Yeah.
What about eating then? Because you've got to find times to take plenty of food on board, but not just before you're about to leap up and down, presumably. So how on earth do you fit that?
Yeah, exactly. So I think, we've got our games obviously all day, and then most of the clubs that we're staying at, I believe that are going to be providing us with teas when we're there, so we should get a decent, kind of healthy, carb-full meal in the evening. And then, all the other times, I think the support crew will do a good job of making sure we're eating and drinking.
Will you need a lot? Presumably, you'll need a lot more calories than a normal person on a normal day would need.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I'm not actually sorry about. I'm quite happy about being allowed to eat a lot more calories in a day.
Yes, the difficult thing will be afterwards when your brain's got used to this and you've got to go back to what you ate before, I would imagine. But,
exactly.
All right, now we haven't yet talked much about what the charity does, have we? So we'll come on to that in a moment. A song first of all. After this, it'll be your travel and weather on the half hour. Here is Bill Buckley with you for a little bit longer. Phil Kennedy's here at 4, of course, talking at the moment to Lara, Aurora and Katie, who are 3 members of the Hockey for Heroes team, who are going to travel the land, 8 action-packed days, 28 games of hockey, 8 tough military challenges as well, all packed into those 8 days to raise money for Help for Heroes. So, Lara, your colleagues say you're the woman to ask about the charity. So just to give us an idea of the range of work that it does.
So the charity's growing massively. It was initially set up by Gary Ryder and Joel Forrester, who are both still involved, and its main aim is to kind of unite all the hockey families and raise as much money for Help for Heroes, but also to educate people kind of about the support that those who have served and their families, the support that they need.
Right.
So this year we've got a lot of projects going on. So as well as Operation Endure, which is the challenge we're embarking on, we've got our first black tie ball. We've got a new Warriors initiative, which is getting our Hockey for Heroes into universities and clubs and things like that. So there's a lot going on at the moment. So it's really growing.
So before it existed then, what help was out there for ex-service personnel in dire straits?
So Help for Heroes has been running for quite a while, but I think a lot of the ex-servicemen rely heavily on those charities. So, part of our what we're about is raising awareness as well and getting it out there.
And just give me one specific example of where a charity would step in and help somebody like that wouldn't get that help from elsewhere.
So I think kind of once people leave the military, depending on what terms they've left, they need that support in getting back into everyday life. And, some of the things they've seen are what we couldn't ever imagine.
Deeply traumatic.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So, the Help for Heroes helps people recover with post-traumatic stress and things like that.
They say also, don't they, that even those who've had a fairly fortunate military career haven't seen too many terrible things. Their world is so different from the civilian world that they're not used to setting up direct debits to pay their bills and really basic things that we all take for granted.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely true actually. Yeah. So it's having that support there that. Yes. To get them integrated back into normal life.
Very good. Now, Kate, tell us a bit more about the itinerary then. We started in Glasgow. Now you're worried that you're not the person you're not the one who keeps the list of where you're going.
I know a couple of the places that was looking at.
Well, all chip in and give me as many places as you can in whatever order.
Right, so first is Glasgow. Yeah. And then it is.
Then we get to Leeds.
Leeds, okay, yes.
Followed by Leicester.
Right, it's making sense so far. I see a southerly trajectory.
Yeah, there's a slight detour. We then go to Bowden, which is Manchester way.
Oh, right.
Then from Bowden, we go to Solihull.
My neck of the woods, give it my love.
Excellent. Right. From there, we come to Reading.
Yes.
Then Guildford, and then Canterbury.
Very, very good. Very, very good. And have you any idea at this point how much you might raise? I know it's kind of a poison chalice to even ask, but do you have a figure in mind, even a vague idea of what you'd like to raise?
So we've already started our fundraising. We're currently sitting on 17,000 already.
That's not bad.
We've set ourselves a target of £30,000, but we would definitely like to smash that.
What did you say the boys got?
The boys raised £68,000, and
you don't want to raise 30 then. You just don't.
No, so I think we all want to raise a bit more than that.
Yeah, and how are you doing that? Because of course, one of the great things about the internet, it's made fundraising. Well, not necessarily easier, but to at least let people know that they can help you out. It's made that a lot easier, hasn't it?
Definitely. So the internet's really helped getting the support of the community. We've got some really good sponsors. So we've been sponsored by Adidas, Silixia, and Colgate, and they're all helping to spread the word on what we're doing.
But you want direct donations? Members of the public as well.
Definitely. So either they need to come along and support us on one of our days, or we've got a Just Giving page and a website where they can donate money.
What's the name to type in to find the page?
Well, personally, if they type in my name, then I get more money. But then
it's like you're an honest woman. Then we'll be trying that one on, isn't it?
But yeah, I think Operation Endure is kind of what we're under on Just Giving.
Operation Endure.
Yeah,
okay.
Endure.
What are you most looking forward to at the end of it, Aurora?
Oh, goodness me.
Have you thought?
I haven't really thought of that, actually.
I always think if you've got a really big, difficult thing to do, it's really helpful to just visualise the thing beyond it, the kind of the reward or the rest or whatever it might be that will get you through the hell moments, because there will be hell moments.
To work.
Getting back to work. I do hope the school's listening. I've been very impressed with your choice of answer there.
So we'll be probably waddling around school.
Will you take any time off at all?
We've been luckily giving a day off on the Monday.
Just the one day?
Yes, so a bit of recovery, and then straight back to work.
Right, but will it be lying in a bath? Will it be eating a huge chocolate cake?
Yes, definitely.
Yes and yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Eating lots of food.
Katie?
Cake, sweets.
But I think it's it's a huge feeling of achievement, isn't it? And that's why essentially we're all doing it. We've been talking about it for so long, and just to get through every day and literally get to the end of 8 days and just have that sense of achievement at the end of it. That for me is massive.
So do you do mental preparation specifically as well as physical then?
I think to a certain extent. I don't do a huge amount of it, but there definitely is going to be an element of that. And
what can you do to help in that way?
I don't know. So mean, I do mindfulness and things like that.
Do what?
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness, which would, in this context would be what? Just
kind of preparing, like knowing how to deal with your own kind of thoughts and your feelings. Like if you're feeling down, how to pick yourself up, or you know, how to kind of motivate yourself.
Yeah. How are you going to motivate yourself, Laura?
Do you know what? I think my teammates will. That my motivation is them, and for the charity. You know, ultimately we all want to do it to raise as much money as
somebody
possible.
Having a down day, and it's up to the others to hoist them up again, and then through somebody else's turn another day, and that's a wonderful bonding thing. I mean, my word, you'll know each other so well. You know, warts and all by the end of this process, won't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Well, huge good luck with it, and please will you come and see us afterwards?
Definitely.
We'd love to hear how it all goes. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
BBC Radio Berkshire.